Good morning, everyone. Happy 4th of July. And on today's show, I'm back from break. We've got Phil's day off, gaming news, and it is time for the nonsense to end because today I will hit master ranking with M. Bison, Street Fighter 6. Yeah. So, prepare for true independence on today's episode of the Level 1 Podcast. Alrighty, everyone. Indeed, happy 4th of July, or Independence Day, as it's known here in the United States where I live, with a viewership of about 48% Americans. I must say that today is a momentous day for many of us, although more than half my viewership is international. Today is a national holiday here. How do you celebrate it? Well, you drink. That's pretty much right. You're off from work, so you drink. You sit around drinking all day. You grill out. You get together with family and friends. Spend some time doing outdoorsy activities, perhaps. Maybe play some sports. Watch some sports. I know that watching sports today is also a big thing in the United States. But in general, celebrate our independence from, we said tyranny. Funny what side of history you sit on, who describes it as what, right? But yeah, it's our national holiday that we do once a year. And for me, originally this was actually going to be my day off, but things got all shuffled around. And it just so happens that here I am, I'm here today all day on stream with all of you. I don't know realistically how many viewers I will have today. Reason being, about 48% of my audience is celebrating a national holiday today. So, very well, many of you, particularly during this first stream, may be celebrating with your own family and friends and not able to make it live. And if that's the case, I wish you the best. I hope that everyone out there has a safe and fun holiday. I hope to hear all about it when you do return to my content and streams. But for those of you who are here live, welcome. For anyone here who is not an American, well, happy normal Thursday, right? So today I'm back, and it is a full week of streams, FYI, because I know that the schedule has been thrown off a bit. As you know, usually my Thursdays would be my day off, but yet here I am, and yesterday was my day off, right? Well, FYI, I have an update regarding the schedule right away. Let's just get it out of the way. I will be here 6 days, and then next Wednesday again will be my day off. Okay? So the day off for now is shifting. This is not necessarily a permanent thing. It's just that things are aligning this way for the next week or so. I will let you know on the fly if things change. But yes, that means that I will be here today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday will be my day off next week. Okay? I hope people get that. You know, that's another thing too, like with having a set schedule for so long, very well people might not even realize that I'm streaming today, and we may have less viewers because of that, and there's not much I can really do about that. You know, I tried my best to spread the word amongst the viewership in the last week, since I knew that my days were going to be shifting around. So, that being said, what shall we talk about, right? Well, what I like to do is quickly just do a real quick recap of Tuesday. And then what we could do is talk about the schedule for the coming week, what my plans are for today. Of course, we've got the Phil's Day Off segment and game news. We actually have some gaming news today to discuss, which I'm excited for. So a good, variety of content here on the stream. If we run out of topics, if there's not enough Q&A, we can always end this podcast earlier and jump into Street Fighter 6 earlier. The more time, the better, right? So let's begin. On Tuesday, July 2nd, right, last day that I was on stream, it was a good variety day. The Elden Ring stream went really well. We not only fully explored the ground level of the northwestern parts of the map, including, I believe it was multiple optional dungeons that we went through. But we also explored the giant Stardew Altis open area, and then we went into the castle, which is really called the Shadow Keep, from two different directions, actually. First, we entered from the east, which was a different entrance based on us having previously explored that portion of the map, and that was a cool water puzzle with water going up and down and platforming and fighting new enemies and all kinds of stuff. And we had to fight multiple corrupted tree spirit things, which is really dumb because at this point they're just such a stupid enemy. They're not even a threat anymore. They're just boring. They take forever to kill, though. It's like, well, gotta waste another 10 minutes of my stream to fight these fucking things that we've already killed a million times. And then at the end of the stream, people were really eager for me to go to the main entrance of the Shadow Keep because they said that there's actually a boss like right away, and I hadn't known that. I was like, oh, if I'd known that, I probably would have done that first. So I did go to the entrance and fought the Golden Hippo. I said, oh, I have 5 minutes left on my stream. I could fight the Golden Hippo, and everyone's laughing on the stream. They're like, haha, he thinks he's going to beat the Golden Hippo in 5 minutes. Yeah, I beat it in like 4 minutes, 30 seconds. It took 3 runs, 3 attempts. And, yeah, not a big deal. As I said, here's how it works for me, okay? Something that's really challenging for everyone else out there, usually, in most cases, isn't challenging for me. However, there are cases where things that are easy for other people end up being the hardest thing in the game for me, in these FromSoft games. There are times when hard things are just hard, like Millennia, right? But, in this case, it was a nice trouncing of this boss, and that was the end of my stream. So when we play again tomorrow, we're in good position to continue exploring the Shadow Keep. I can go through the main entrance. I could go back because people were saying there's other areas that I had unlocked that, you know, there's more to do and more to explore and further into the keep on the other entrance before I go to the main entrance. So I'm like, oh, hey, whatever. I'll do whatever. This sounds fun to me. Shadow Keep full exploration on Friday. Great stuff. The late stream on Tuesday night was more Stardew Valley. It actually was the most productive and advancing Stardew Valley stream I had ever done. So basically, there was a giant thunderstorm, had the best fishing trip I've ever had, grew a whole bunch of crops that made me an insane amount of money. I built a coop. I built a silo to feed the animals at the coop, or I was building the silo. It didn't finish yet. There was a green rain day, which was cool because it makes all these plants like overgrow and you can get rare items like the moss. I went way further down into the mines, like by another 10 levels, and I continue to go deeper into the mines. Like there was just so much going on. It was a crazy productive day of me getting, oh, I upgraded the axe, and now I can cut down the trees and go to other areas and the hard wood and stuff, which is a rare crafting item. So it was just another really chill, fun, interactive Stardew Valley stream. I really, really enjoyed it. So Tuesday was a great streaming day. All the content's live. I hope you checked it out over the day off. If not, it's right there for you. All right. Let's do it, guys. Let's do our weekly Phil's Day Off segment, shall we? So, yesterday was my day off, and basically I had it laid out that it was going to be a very, very, very busy day. That I was going to have multiple appointments and other things going on. All I'm going to say is that things didn't go according to plan. And that's life. Sometimes things just don't go according to plan, and you end up not doing what you planned on doing or wanting to do. The whole day flipped on its head, and instead of being a day of going out with my wife and doing a bunch of stuff, it ended up being kind of a more boring day. A more go out, do your errands kind of day. And I spent a lot of time with Kat yesterday, which was nice. That was nice to spend a lot of time with the wife. You know, but it just sucks that, you know, you have these plans. Like, okay, it's all set out. It's laid out. And then it's like, nope, doesn't work out. I'm like, oh, well, that sucks. But at least I got to spend a lot of time with my wife, you know. As for, like, food and stuff, basically, we were, ever since COVID hit, okay, a lot of things changed. You know, pre-COVID, my wife and I had literally never ordered food in before, besides like maybe get pizza delivery every once in a while from one of the chains. But when COVID hit, that's when we started ordering from these delivery services. And now when we have a day off, sometimes if we're staying home, we order in, or if we're going out, we eat out while we're out, because it's our one day a week to not cook for ourselves. So it's relaxing to not have to cook for a day. But yeah, like before COVID hit 4 years ago, there was a lot of places that we would frequent. You know, little local places, hole in the wall restaurants and places that they're not chains. No one knows about them. But if you're local, you're like, oh, it's like a hidden gem of the neighborhood, right? The problem is that after COVID happened, a lot of these places either closed down, which did. It was like one or two places we really liked that just went out of business. Or so in some cases, it's just like a place we just don't really go anymore. Like there was this one place that we used to go. I can explain this because this is kind of interesting actually. So we've had Jasper Kitty, our pet, for over 5 years. And before we had Jasper Kitty, we actually used to frequently go to like pet shelters, rescue places, and look at cats and pets to see, hey, do we ever want to adopt a pet? So it was just a frequent thing we used to do. And we used to go to this one direction where there was a pet shelter that had both cats and dogs. And we would always go to both sides and look at the pets and say, hey, maybe we'll be ready for this someday. But there was a local, you know, restaurant right near there that was known as like a really hot like brunch place. And we loved it. We went there many times. At one point, one of the years, I can't remember if it was 2018, 2019. I don't really remember. But one of the years, like we were going like every month, we were going at least once. Because it was such a good restaurant. We loved it. And with all kinds of brunch foods and stuff, you know, amazing breakfasts or whatever. But what happened was COVID hit. And then after COVID hit, you know, we had Jasper Kitty, so it's not like we were looking into pet shelters or anything anymore. And during COVID, the pet shelters locked down a ton. So, like, you couldn't even go to the shelter. They'd be like, oh, we're closed for a while. Then they'd be like, oh, you got to go, but you got to mask up. You got to have your vaccine record. You got to have this and that. And it just became such a hassle that we stopped going. Even after having Jasper Kitty, we were still going once in a while to these pet shelters just to see who was there. You know, we like seeing pets. And it just became such a problem that we're like, nah, forget it. So we haven't been to this particular brunch restaurant in like years. I think we went once since COVID. And it sucks. It's a place we went to all the time. The thing is, they were never on a delivery service. For some reason, it's kind of like one of those hole in the walls where like, oh, I guess we have enough business. We don't need delivery business. We're good. So yesterday, we're looking for some food earlier on in the day, actually, because like I said, kind of our plans fell apart for what we were going to do for the day. And so we were like, all right, what are we going to do? Well, we were not going to go out. Let's just order in then. And we're looking, and as we're looking at breakfast places and stuff, because we can't figure out where we want to eat, we've eaten at a few different breakfast places around here. There's some good ones. There's some not so good ones. They're not always dependable. All of a sudden, there it is. It's in the delivery app. I'm like, they deliver now? Like, never were you able to order from this place before. So I ordered the sandwich I always used to get, a big club sandwich. And my wife ordered a breakfast she used to get, these pancake combo. Okay? So the food gets delivered. And I open it up, and I'm like, this is just like the old times. Like, it feels like it's 4 years ago. Like, we're there in person. The food was amazing. My wife, it's a big plastic container. Because, by the way, they outlawed styrofoam in Washington State. I'm not joking. It's against the law to use styrofoam for packaging in Washington State now. Because, you know, it's so dangerous to the environment, apparently. Told you I live in a green state. Anyway, so they deliver in this like, it's like a, what do they call it? Like a clamshell or a turtle shell plastic container. So it's big, you know, the container's big. It's like this big. My wife opens it like this. The entire container from edge to edge is pancake. It is the biggest pancakes we have ever seen in our lives. It was like bigger than my head. Like the pancake was like this big. Oh my God, boy, do we miss a good restaurant like this. By the way, this restaurant isn't any more expensive than anything else out here. They're just good. Like, they just give you giant quality food for reasonable prices. They don't rip you off. So, oh my Lord. So we had a really, really good meal from the restaurant that we missed for so many years. And now we're like, please let them still be on there for delivery for future weeks, because that's the problem. A lot of the times something's there, then it's not. There'll be a time when normally you can order from a place and you're really craving it. You go to order, they say, oh, they got busy, so they shut down their ordering for the day. You can't get it now. But anyway, It was a great meal, so we were very happy. My club sandwich was super outstanding, and oh my god, the potato salad at this place. I don't know what they do. It's the tastiest potato salad in the world that I've ever had. It's got every ingredient you could want. You know, it's not just a bland potato salad. It's got mustard in it. It's got eggs. It's got dill. It's got all that good shit. So, super duper good. What else did we do? We watched a lot of BattleBots. In fact, we ended up finishing up, speaking of COVID, we ended up finishing up the 2020 season of BattleBots Fight Night, which was the COVID year, which was the weird year because they didn't have like half the bots there because, of course, internationally they couldn't make it because of the travel restrictions because of COVID. And the arena was empty. There were no spectators allowed besides the people who are participating in the BattleBots competition. So it was just a really, really weird year for everything like that. The show was still really good, and we watched like a lot of the season, like this whole second half of the season together. But outside of that, nothing too crazy, you know? It sucks because when you have plans laid out and you're like, you're set to do it and you're ready to go, and then something goes wrong and it's like, well, can't do it now. Well, it is what it is, you know? So now we got to see what's going to happen. Maybe try to redo some of the stuff we were going to do next week on Wednesday. Anyway, it was an okay day off, I'll put it that way. My favorite part, spending time with my wife. Being able to spend time with the wife is always nice, but the stress of having things go wrong and canceled and things isn't good. So it's kind of like a 50-50 day for me yesterday. Okay? Okay. So that was yesterday. Let's talk about the schedule for the rest of the week, and then we'll go into game news and the like, okay? And again, I see more and more people are joining the chat. Happy Independence Day, everyone. Happy 4th of July. I hope if you're celebrating that you have a safe and fun day. If you're going to hang out with me, welcome, and thanks for stopping by. Okay, so today, my daytime stream today is the day when I hit the day when I hit master rank with Bison, period, in Street Fighter 6. Okay? Just period. Like, I'm just doing it. I've already determined I'm done with the excuses. I'm done with bad execution. I'm done with all of it. I'm done with getting frustrated over online bullshit. I'm just done with waiting and getting angry over it. Instead, today I'm just going to play and I'm going to do it. It's mind over matter, basically. You know, it really is. Because I think a lot of the times, half the time I'm playing Street Fighter 6, the reason I'm losing is because I'm getting so frustrated over one missed input or one dropped combo or one block that didn't work that I get frazzled, I get agitated, and it makes me just go and play worse and lose and lose and lose. Okay? So, today, I've had enough of all of it. Today is the day I hit Master with Bison. We're at 24,250 points, something like that. So we're only like 750 away. It's not that big of a deal. And if I play mostly ranked today, which is my plan, I'm probably only going to do 1 or 2 warm-up matches, and I want to just try one thing in training mode before we start. But for the most part, today, I'm going to just play ranked. I'm going to play my game. I'm going to try not to get frazzled. If something goes wrong, I'm not going to act like it's the end of the world and rip off my shirt like the Incredible Hulk and turn green and start swearing obscenities and punching my joystick. Instead, I'm just going to be like, whatever. It's not a big deal. Regroup and play better, especially because the character I'm using, Bison, is an incredibly good character. You can always come back. So I'm not going to let it frazzle me. I'm not. I'm going to try to play it way more cool today. And hopefully with that in mind, I think I'm going to do well. All right? Of course, there's no guarantees in life, but I guarantee you I'm going to do my utmost today to get Bison to master. Because then we could say I have 6 characters at master rank. Then when we play with Bison, we can have better matches rather than playing the same goddamn characters over and over. We'll actually fight variety again, which is what the goal is here. I mean, that last stream on Monday was absolutely ridiculous. It was mostly Camis, Bisons, and Akumas, with maybe 1 or 2 Ryus thrown in. It was the same 3 characters for like 2 hours. Like, what the fuck is going on? Do people not fucking change characters ever? Like, what is happening here? Like, do I really want to just fight the same 3 characters in a row? No, I don't. It gets boring. So I hope today we'll get variety. If not, again, I'm not going to get frustrated. I'm going to do my best to stay cool. Yes, I did watch videos. I learned a few more strategies. Like my thing is I didn't really have a good drive rush combo with Bison. Now I think I have a good standard, like just drive rush into it from full screen and try that. I learned a couple things about more juggles and stuff. I'm going to test some of this in training mode. Okay. And like I said, I'll probably do 1 or 2 casual matches. And then we're going to jump right into ranked. I'm not going to spend a ton of time out of rank today because that was the problem. You know, I only did like 90 minutes in rank the other day. So as I'm getting into kind of a groove at the end of the stream, time ran out. So today, it's all about, you know, ranked Bison and getting in the master. And I hope I can do it today. But I'm doing my absolute damnedest. I'm dedicated to it. And hopefully we do it. Tonight on the late stream, it's a continuation of Riven Remastered, excuse me. Played this over on Monday night, and it was really fun. Actually seeing a game like this rendered in full 3D is quite neat. The puzzles are interesting. We're in the middle of this cool island called Jungle Island. Yeah, I was having a good time in it, just really enjoying and exploring and everything. And I was like, wow, this is neat. So, yeah, I'm excited for more Riven tonight. Nice, relaxing, enjoyable puzzles and chilling with the audience. And here's the thing, I would need that. You know what I mean? Like after having a stressful stream of Street Fighter 6 today, it's the perfect time for Riven to unwind. So I'm happy that I'm doing that tonight. Okay. Now tomorrow, the daytime stream is going to be more Elden Ring. Very excited for that because obviously I'm going to be doing the Shadow Keep, you know, continuing on, probably finishing it all. Don't know how many big bosses or anything are in Shadow Keep. We fought one so far. But I'm excited to see how many more there are and what else we're going to come up against. So far, it's been pretty neat. And then tomorrow night, Friday Night Fights. Yes, more Street Fighter 6 on the late stream. Will it be Bison? Well, if I hit Master Rank today, it stands to reason that I would want to do a stream in Master to see how I do on Friday night. But let's see what happens today, okay? Then on Saturday, the day stream again will be Elden Ring. So 2 straight streams of Elden Ring on the day stream. And then Saturday night will be Stardew Valley returning to the late night chill stream. And by then, after having done Elden Ring, Street Fighter, and Elden Ring again, I will definitely need that nice chill stream to unwind and relax. Sunday all day will be React Day again. We will do DSP versus the Internet, the clip show on the first stream on DSP React. And then on the late stream, there will be retro react to Dark Souls 1 over on DSP Throwback. And I'm excited for that. We actually had a lot of fun with it last week, where I beat the Titanite Demon, and then I ended up going into the chapel and fighting the Belfry Gargoyles, or the Bell Gargoyles. They're not Belfry. I think the Belfry Gargoyles was Dark Souls 2, right? But it was really fun to watch that back, and now I'm sure I'm going to be continuing on, probably through the Dark Route and everything. So that'll be fun Sunday night. Monday, we'll get back to gameplay. Monday's daytime stream will likely be Street Fighter 6, and then Monday night, more Riven, and then Tuesday, more Elden Ring and more Stardew, and that's the streaming week. Now, the only thing is, okay, I need to do React content this week in regards to my patrons. Likely that's going to be Monday night. So if anything, it means that we have to cut out one of the chill night streams. We will have to do that. It's the only time of the month I'll have to do that. I'm actually waiting to hear from those who pledged on what videos they want me to make for them. For those who don't know, I have a Patreon at patreon.com/darksidephil. And people who pledge $50 a month get a private video from me. Sometimes it's just me answering questions, but a lot of people like private React videos. So far, I have one video set, but I haven't received any information from others on the videos that they want yet. Once I receive that information, I got to set the time, but it looks like probably Monday night I will not be streaming, okay? So I'll let everyone know as we get closer, but once that's set in stone, I have all the data, probably Monday night, no stream. So if that's the case, we have to decide, do we want to do Riven or Stardew as our chill stream Tuesday night? Because one of them cannot be played because I have to take the time to do the React content, okay? The good news is, whatever I don't do for that night, I can just do it again I can do it on Thursday night anyway, so it's not a big wait for it anyway. So, anyway, So that's what's going on this week, okay? It's a 6-day week from Thursday to Tuesday, and we'll talk more about this, possibility of Monday night off to do the private reacts once it gets closer, and real big focus on progress this week, both with Street Fighter 6 Bison and with Elden Ring. So there you go. That's a schedule, all right? So outside of all of that, I have one or two quick updates, I guess, to talk about. So first off, in regards to upcoming React stuff, all right? I actually talked to June the King about not only my own documentary, but the other documentaries he's doing soon. Get this. He just did, and he's completing, it's not done yet, a documentary on Review Tech USA. Yeah. He's actually doing a documentary on him. And I talked to him because actually, in truth, earlier, he had been asking around, like, who do you think would be good topics for me to cover for documentaries? And I was like, the thing that always got me was that everyone makes fun of me. Everyone makes fun of me. But some of the people who make fun of me, I feel like are worse than me. And I'm sorry, but Review Tech was always one of them. Like, this guy always constantly talking about me in his content and streams and not leaving me alone, despite the fact that I've asked him multiple times to just shut up and stop talking shit about me because I don't care about the guy and I don't know why he likes to bully people on the fucking internet who have nothing to do with him. But it's like, for me, he's an obsession or something. Like, he's constantly talking about me, right? So, anyway, ages ago, June had asked, who would be good topics, and I had suggested Rich to him. And I was like, this guy has some weird obsession with me. It would be fascinating to have someone, like, analyze this guy, because no one has. It's weird that there's multiple documentaries about me and about Wings and about everyone else, but no one has ever talked about Rich before. Isn't that fucking bizarre? So, basically, at that point, June was like, nah, I don't think there's anything there. All of a sudden, of course, what's happened this year is that the closet opened, all the skeletons jumped out and started dancing all over the public eye. And now June's like, oh, this is a really good topic. So June is doing a documentary on Review Tech, and it's supposed to be coming out in August. Okay? I don't know exactly when yet. Neither does actually June, because I guess it's being worked on right now. But I haven't done a long-form react in a zillion years. Like, can you tell me the last time I did a long-form react? Almost a year ago. So this could be a good long-form react. And by the way, it's incredibly pertinent because here is someone who has literally just dumped on me constantly and was so weirdly obsessed with me for so long, to finally watch this guy's story and try to figure out what the hell is with this guy, right? So anyway, I'm interested in it, and so when this happens, I will likely do a long form react to it to break up content. And by the way, as you know, this summer there's like nothing going on with games until late August. So if it comes out in like early to mid-August, it's perfect timing for me to do something different and break up my content, okay? So I'm strongly considering doing that, okay? Now, my own documentary from June the King is coming out, and this is supposed to be like his magnum opus 4-hour monstrous event. So when that happens, I'll also be reacting to some of that. I don't know if I'm going to be reacting to 4 straight hours about me, but I will do probably a good amount of it. But let's see when it happens, and then we'll go from there. So there will be long-form react content coming in the late summertime, like in August, basically. Both of these things will probably be happening. Excuse me. So plan for it, all right? If you're interested in that kind of stuff, especially for those of you who have been missing the long-form react stuff, because I only do the clip show at this point, there will be more coming soon, okay? All right. Also, I think that we should really seriously begin to start planning this event that we were talking about, this summertime event. Now, I don't know what we're going to call it, but, people are saying make it like a summer party where you can do various different things. Maybe do a challenge run in the upcoming Nintendo World Championships. Maybe do like a tier maker. Maybe do a little bit of chill Stardew Valley gameplay. Have some drinks, have some food. We should really start concretely planning for this now. Like, look for a date to set and actually start working toward, name it something. Maybe I could have some promotional art made for it so we can start hyping it up. Okay, so let's start thinking about this Seriously, if you guys have ideas regarding this upcoming event, that'd be awesome. DSP's Summer Block Party. Summer Bash Fest. Summer Bash or Summer Fest. Summer Bash Fest just sounds like a little bit of overkill, don't you think? Get hot dogs and other summer-esque food. Oh, I totally forgot to mention it. So today is the 4th of July. Typically, what do people do on 4th of July? They cook out things like, meats, hot dogs, hamburgers, ribs, chicken. Today, for dinner, my wife and I are having Bison burgers. So today, I am playing with M. Bison all day in Street Fighter 6 and taking him to Master. And then when the stream is over, I'm eating Bison burgers for dinner. So Bison on the stream and then Bison in my stomach. There you go. Bison overload. But anyway, summer beach party. Have a tropical backdrop. Yes. I'll have a beach ball and I'll wear a floaty. I'll wear like a big inner tube all stream. No, I don't think we'll have the summer bikini bonanza amplitory. People need to retain their eyesight. And if I'm in a bikini, they will lose it. I like my audience to be able to watch, right? There you go. Bison is 4th of July best. There you go. All right. So anyway, yeah, let's start planning for this summer event over the next few days, this week particularly. By the end of this week, I'd like to have the idea solidified and planned out, that we know what we're doing, and we can start kind of like, talking about it, promoting it, hyping it up. Haven't done a event since May, which was the Indies event. So yeah, it'll be good to do one. Probably either the very end of July or early August. We'll see, right? Jade actually said, I don't see Bison in the podcast. You're right. This border was made for the launch of Akuma at the end of May, and there's been no update to it to add Bison. I mean, to be honest, to add Bison is going to make it lopsided because it's an odd number of characters. So I don't know where we would put them. Here. Now Bison is on the podcast. There you go. Now Bison is here. He's front and center. Everyone else. This is Bison on his day off, wearing a Carhartt shirt, relaxing. Bison just relaxes on his day off. He doesn't, stress out too much. There we are. Very good. Summer Lego Fest. Maybe during the summer event, I could get an inexpensive Lego set and we could like demo that. Like see what it would be like to put together a Lego for a segment and talk and hang out while I build the Lego together. Actually, someone linked me to some really interesting Legos that are more decorative art than anything. Like one of them is like a like it looks like a temple, like a some kind of Asian temple, and another one was like this nice building. And I was looking at it, I was like, oh, those are really nice, and those are nice decoration. Like you build it and you can put it in the background and put it in your house as a nice decoration, as opposed to just like, oh, I just built a Lego and now what do I do with it? It's like a toy, right? It's not really a toy. So there you go. All right, folks, before we get too silly today, I think it's time for my favorite segment. I think it's time for your favorite segment. I think it's time for everyone's personal favorite segment, DSP News. That is right, and we've got some good news to cover today. Not too much, but an okay amount of variety here. All right, so first off, the maker of Final Fantasy. He's the creator. His name is Hironobu Sakaguchi. Was interviewed about various different topics. Okay, he's getting up there in age. So people wondering, what he wants to do with his time. It's very valuable. And the question was asked, what about the games you made under the early Mistwalker days? For example, Blue Dragon or Lost Odyssey. Would you ever be interested in maybe upgrading those games and making them more accessible on modern platforms? Now, I've played both, and they're fully accessible. Just the difference is that they were Xbox early, or not early, but kind of mid-life Xbox 360 games. They don't run so well. Like, for example, Blue Dragon, it looks okay. But certainly today, if they give it like a graphical upgrade and mastered it to work on, modern stuff, it would probably look a lot better. Well, Sakaguchi answered, no, sadly, he's not really interested at all in bringing any of that era of stuff to modern consoles. No remakes or remasters coming from him in that regard. But listen to this. He wants to find a way to revive the strategy game he made called Terra Battle. It was a mobile game on phones released in 2014, but apparently it didn't do so good, and it's no longer playable anywhere worldwide. And I guess he put a lot of effort into it, and he's upset that that game died. So he wants to make like a real version of Terra Battle rather than it just being a mobile game. Obviously, I don't know what that is. I never played Terra Battle. I never heard of it. I think it was bigger over in Japan. One of those games that like didn't really cross the ocean and become mainstream here in the United States like many others have. So, sad. But, hey, as long as he's still interested in working on something, I'm happy, Listen to this story. This is a pretty good one. Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa says that AI, artificial intelligence, does have some value, all right? But he does see that it has, excuse me, that's disgusting. He does see that it has, some use. However, he says Nintendo will not ever use AI in their game development cycle. And I quote, here's his direct quote. Generative AI, which has been a hot topic in recent years, can be more creative, but we also recognize that it has issues with intellectual property rights. Our company has decades of know-how in creating optimal gaming experiences for our customers. While we are flexible in responding to technological developments, we hope to continue to deliver value that is unique to us and cannot be created through technology alone. So there you go. Nintendo will absolutely not be using AI to make their video games moving forward. They're going to let the humans do it. It's just like a quote that I said a few weeks ago. I'd seen this on social media, this very, very poignant observation that a woman had made on X. She said, all I'm seeing right now is reports about how we want to use AI to make music, AI to make art, AI to do all these creative things. What I want to do, I want to use AI to clean my floors, to wash my dishes, to do my laundry. Why? Because I want more time to make music, to do art, and to do creative things. So why are we all talking about using AI to replace the things that humans love to do instead of just making AI do the menial tasks we hate so we can do the things we love? Why are we doing this ass backwards? Yeah. I don't think there's a reason, like AI being used to do insanely menial, tedious tasks that aren't meaningful to human existence. Yeah, let's get AI doing that shit. Instead of, hey, have AI do the high-level creative shit. Like, what are we doing? Why are we even talking about that? Right? Exactly. Big Boggle. We automated our hobbies, but now daily errands have gotten harder. So, anyway, yeah. I think that there are definitely, realistic ways that we can use AI. I just don't know why we're talking about doing these other things. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, a live-action Watch Dogs movie has begun filming. Oh, finally, something to satiate our desire for a Watch Dogs cinematic universe, right? Huh? When was the last time people talked about Watch Dogs in a positive way? Watch Dogs Legion flopped miserably. Right? Right? Why? When is Watch Dogs? Is there another Watch Dogs game even being developed? I'm really confused because the other thing was that everyone complained that the protagonist of Watch Dogs 1, whose name I've completely forgotten, okay, was incredibly boring and monotone. That Watch Dogs 2 was a much better plot because it had a more colorful cast of characters, but no one played Watch Dogs 2 because everyone was disappointed by Watch Dogs 1, and then Watch Dogs 3 Legion flopped. So I'm really confused. Like, I'm not saying I don't think that Watch Dogs wouldn't be a good movie if executed properly. I'm just very confused. Who's asking for this? And who greenlit it? Like, did anyone do any market research at all to see if there was a demand for a Watch Dogs video game? I'm very, very confused at this point. So, anyway, in other news, the planned Horizon Zero Dawn / just Horizon Universe TV show that was being developed for Netflix has been completely canceled. Reason being, I guess the guy who was going to spearhead it, I guess he was the guy who just directed or was directing Umbrella Academy, which I guess is a Netflix show. I don't know. I've never seen it. But apparently, allegations have hit that this director is an incredibly abusive person who basically berates and mistreats the talent and was basically just a horror to get along with during Umbrella Academy. And since this guy was chosen to head the Horizon show, and now these allegations have hit, the entire show has been scrapped. Like, completely the idea has been thrown out. Wow. So, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. If you were to ask me, what's going to do better, a Watch Dogs movie or a Horizon show? I'd probably say the Horizon show, right? Like, I don't know. Like, the Horizon series, even though the last game didn't do as well as they had hoped, okay? And the VR game did not do well at all. I still think that the story of Horizon, if done well in a show, especially because they have 2 different games to go through, would do better than Watch Dogs. Because at least it's more pertinent and more modern and something people are still kind of talking about, you know? Yeah, you didn't even know there was a VR game? Nasty Soda said VR game. Oh, you didn't know? That was the killer app for PSVR 2. It was the Horizon VR game that no one played. Yeah. Dentronic says, how about Horizon? 0 interest. Wow. Wow. Amazing. That's great. Anyway, so that's the TV news. And we have 2 final stories about Xbox. One good and one bad. Let's get the bad out of the way. Microsoft has reportedly had another round of layoffs this week across all divisions, yes, including the Xbox division. People have begun posting up on social media in the last 24 to 48 hours that they got the notice that they all were fired. It's unclear what the reasoning was for the firings, or laying off, I should say. And it's unclear exactly how many were affected or what divisions, because it seems to be an odd cross-section. Like, there's people who are in just core Microsoft. There's people who are in Xbox. It just seems like a weird workforce reduction. Unlike the previous ones where they're like, we're closing studios and stuff, this was just like across the board cuts. So again, the question is, what the hell is going on at Microsoft? They're still cutting jobs months later. This is like the 3rd or 4th round of cuts this year. And it's like, what is happening over there? Right? Okay. The final piece of news. Well, we all know about the Microsoft Activision merger and that Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard and it finally went through. But nothing seems to have changed yet, right? Right? Not really. Well, we did hear that Call of Duty will be on Game Pass coming up this year, and that's an additional thing. But what else? Well, it has been announced that Activision Games, potentially starting with the Crash Bandicoot franchise of games, will reportedly start releasing onto Xbox Game Pass in August. So this summer, if you're bored and you have a Game Pass subscription, you may see a flood of Activision Blizzard games start hitting Game Pass over the summer. So you may have some new stuff to play. Cool. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know how many people who wanted to play like the Crash Insane Trilogy haven't yet. I mean, the thing went on discount for like a crazy low amount of money ages ago. So chances are, if you wanted it, you probably already played it. But for those who maybe have a Game Pass subscription or are looking for something different to do over the summer, cool. One final piece of news, not game related at all. Here in the United States, we are having a pretty bad heat wave. Here in Washington State, starting today, the heat wave hits. and it continues for an entire week, like 5-6 days in a row. We're gonna have 90+ degree weather outside Fahrenheit. It's pretty bad. So I'll have AC pumping. But if you live in the United States, obviously I wish you the best. I hope that you stay cool and safe. Please don't overexert yourselves. Please be careful. Take it seriously, because some people don't, and then they end up getting seriously ill, or, you know, injury because of heat is not good at all. You don't want to end up in the hospital, you know, for heat stroke or dehydration or, you know, whatever. So do what you can to stay cool. Take it seriously, right? Okay. All right. That is it for my news segment. That was a good one. And now, folks, we will roll into shout-outs. Shall we? Shout-outs. We start today with the Roman Victor, who re-upped his membership for 7 months and says, I love the podcast and all of your meaningful content. Well, thank you very much, Roman Victor. I appreciate that. I'm very sorry for the unmeaningful content that I make. I'm trying to reduce that, but I'm trying to increase the amount of meaningful content. So thank you, Roman Victor, for that. Lord Prince Albert did a $5 super chat this morning. How about DSP's sizzling sausage celebration? Well, as much as I'd like to have a sizzling sausage fest, I don't have a grill, so I wouldn't be able to cook the sausage out there. So we're going to have no sausage celebrations, fests, or anything like that. I'm so very sorry about that, Lord Prince Albert. But thank you very much for the super chat. I did hear down the street they're having a summer lemon party, though. I don't know if you're interested in that. Don't look that up, by the way. Do not look that up on the internet. That is old meme, disgusting shit. Okay. Let's get started with tips, shout-outs. Our first tip of the day. Someone says, I emailed you my content for a Patreon React. Hopefully you got it. When did you email it? Because sadly, a lot of stuff hits my junk folder. And depending on when you send it, I did catch one. Aha, I think this is it. I think I found it. Yes, I got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things. Cool. Let me put this not junk. This happens sometimes. Just a lot of stuff goes to my junk folder. So no. Not mark as read. How do I not junk? There we go. Okay, I got it. Thank you for telling me so I could find it. There we go. Thank you. And that was the first tip of the day, an anonymous tip. That is someone who is getting a private Patreon React video and wanted to give me the heads up. Thank you so much for that. Okay, cool. And I received a $10 tip from Tarantula MS, who says, hey, Phil. How you doing, Tarantula? Good to have you here today. Haven't seen you in a little bit. I hope that you're doing well. Happy 4th of July, Tarantula. I hope that you have a fun day today, a safe day. And thanks for stopping by and supporting the stream. So we are up to $11 in tips. Now, being that today is the big push, right, for them Bison to get him to master. Obviously, if you guys support the stream, the earlier the better. That would take my mind off of having to worry about support today. So if you were thinking of supporting the stream today, the goal is $50. If we hit $50, I'm good. I feel confident. I feel safe. Not a big deal. If anything else comes in after that, if it does, great. But if we can hit $50 in tips today, that would be great. Thank you in advance to anyone who supports my stream today. If we happen to hit the hat goal of $100 today, obviously, you know what hat I will be wearing today as we take Bison to master. Okay? So FYI, a great opportunity for the Bison hat if you support the stream today. Thank you very much in advance. Okay. So I have covered the topics that I wanted to discuss today. What would you guys like to talk about this morning? Please tag me in the chat, or if any contributions come in, I will shout them out. Um, and we'll go from there and do a little bit of Q&A until we end the show and then get ready for Bison. Exactly. I think the key to me doing well in Street Fighter is to remain calm and play my game. And if something goes wrong, accept it, maybe observe it. Okay, I swear I blocked or whatever. And then just move on and recover instead of me getting so upset and heated about it. And that's the problem. I've been getting so upset by this shit that then it throws off my game and the rest of that game and another game. You know what I mean? Thoughts on our country being ran by a zombie and clowns thinking he's a good president? As I've already said, High's Darkness, sadly I feel with this election coming up, we don't have any good choices. Both choices are bad. It's like I said, if you're have to vote in the November election here in the United States, and you're like, dude, I can't believe that man is our president, and I can't believe the other candidate is the other candidate for president, and it's like, how do you vote for the lesser of two evils? It's this simple. You don't vote for the candidate. You vote for what experience you thought was better. Do you think that this country was better when Trump was president for 4 years, or while Biden has just been president for 4 years? That's what your vote should be based on. Because sadly, we have two awful choices. And it's not going to get any better. We just have to swallow it for now, hope for the best, and vote for what's the better time for our country. And that's going to be a very subjective opinion. There's no objective way to decide that. There's some people who will likely say, oh, things were better for us when Trump was president. And some people might say things were better for us when Biden's been president. So you got to vote based on that. You vote for the issue, not for the person. That's my take on it. Okay? Messy Missy, weird name. Why do you think is the reason that you get so heated during matches? Is it remnants of the past? In truth, it's a few different combination of things. Okay, number one, yes, I get frustrated when I'm fighting someone, because here's the thing. If I'm fighting someone and they show me something I've never seen before, I get mixed up with a tactic. I'm like, whoa, that's really cool, right? Or there's a giant combo that's original and fun, a mix-up that fools me, or someone gets a perfect parry, and then it leads to them dominating, which I've seen. I always give credit where credit is due there, always. The things that frustrate me are people who literally have labbed to the point where they memorized one pattern. They just repeat their pattern over and over, and they win because they guessed and got lucky. That's so frustrating because guessing is definitely part of fighting games. Guessing should not ultimately determine the full outcome of a fighting game, but in Street Fighter 6, it often does. Guessing should only be a part of the strategy. There's people who I play who absolutely suck at Street Fighter, but they guess correctly a few times in a row, and they can beat you. That's what frustrates me. That's number one. People who don't have that innate knowledge or understanding of fighting games. They don't have skill. They just have, oh, I watched a video and I labbed, so now I can just guess 50-50 and beat people online. That's not a fighting game. That's a gamble. You're rolling dice. That's not a fucking fighting game in any way, shape, or form. It's not supposed to be like that. Okay, that's number one. Number two, what frustrates me is that I just don't have a lot of time to play fighting games, right? I'm playing it today, tomorrow night. Next time I'll play is Monday, Tuesday, and that's it for the whole week. So in this whole week, I will probably play 8 hours tops of fighting games, while a lot of people out there are playing this every night when they get home. They get home from work or school. They're playing a few hours. They're playing more than me. Every moment that I play Street Fighter, I have to make the best of it because I get to play it so little. And I always fall behind everyone else because I'm not playing as much as them. And that's what's frustrating is I play and I'm getting matches that I'm winning, and then all of a sudden the whole match falls apart because someone got lucky, right? Someone guessed right 3 times in a row. Wow, great, good for you. You know, it pisses me off because that's time wasted. You know, dead to rights. I felt like Bison should have been master on Monday, and then it's just like bad luck, bad execution, fuck. You know, it's frustrating that I can't hit goals and things that I want to do and move on. Like, I have literally not played Blanca at all since the rebalance of Akuma over a month ago. I haven't even gotten to him yet. You understand? Like, so anyway, that's what frustrates me. I hope that kind of makes sense. Okay. Adam, thank you for a $2 tip. He says, good luck on your master climb. Thank you so much, Adam. I appreciate that very much. Yeah. You're correct. I played Blanca against Brian, but what I'm saying is I haven't done a stream of Blanca. I just haven't. I didn't even get through. I was playing my cast, right? I didn't do a stream of ranked Blanca at all. I think I played casually with him maybe once. Did I even? I don't even remember. I think I did one casual stream of Blanca, and I never got to play ranked with him. And that's what I mean. Like when you're only playing 5 to 8 hours a week, because I'm a variety streamer, and you know I don't have tons of time to play Street Fighter. I'm already behind everybody else, and I'm playing catch up. And then when I'm playing catch up and I have matches won, and then a move drops and I lose an entire match because of it, that really upsets me. Or someone guesses correctly, gambling, rolling the dice 4 times in a row and beats me. It's like, oh my God. Ridiculous nonsense. They don't outplay me. They literally guessed 4 times in a row and every guess was right. So, you know, that's what I mean. Like, fighting games are fun, but when I used to play fighting games competitively, guessing was a part of the meta. It was not 90% of the meta. A lot of the times these matches I'm playing online is guessing 90% of the time on what's going to happen. It's stupid. A lucky guess over and over. Oh my God. Okay, what else would you guys like to talk about this morning? No, I'm not going to replay every Dark Souls game back to back after I beat the Elden Ring deal. Absolutely ridiculous. In fact, I kind of need a break, right? I need a break from that FromSoft style after this Elden Ring DLC ends. Uh I just played another Crab's Treasure, then I did my second run in Elden Ring to prepare for this DLC. Now I'm doing the DLC. I don't want to be doing Soulsborne games all year. Yeah, look at that. There's a new me in the bison hat emoji. There it is. There's a bison emoji, guys, in the chat. Here we go. The bison emoji. Just added. All right. That is true. Black Myth Wukong is coming out end of August, and although it does look different from a typical FromSoft style game, I think it will have Soulsborne elements to it, so. How do I feel about the Elden Ring open world being bad? Do I think they should go back to linear design? Yeah, you know, again, it's much like how I criticized the original Elden Ring. Not all of it, but I would argue about half the open world of the Elden Ring DLC is quite boring. How many fucking ghost graves and fucking sheep do I really need to see in the environment? Or, oh, look, it's a poison area with the stupid flowers that you fought 7 million times in the base game. They ran out of ideas for the open world. They just did. Some of the open world is very fascinating. Some of the higher up areas, like I know there's going to be these big monuments and things higher up that look really neat and interesting. I like the finger areas with the finger statues. I liked the mountain climbing up to the Baal the Dragon boss. That was really neat. So there have been open world parts that were quite good, but half of it is just complete boredom. And that's bad. They really did not find a way to innovate and make that feel better. It's just way more of the same. The legacy dungeons are quite good. In fact, the only dungeons that I don't like are the mausoleum dungeons. I actually like the furnaces. I like the jails. I'm trying to think of all the other optional dungeons I've done. They were pretty good. I still like them. I just don't like the mausoleums. There were too many mausoleums in the base game, and in this DLC, they have not changed them or innovated them at all. They're just as fucking annoying. I mean, the last one, I literally ran through most of it, and people were like, oh, but you skipped items. I was like, yeah, but I don't fucking care. It's not fun, so I just want to get to the end and fight the fucking boss. I just don't care about anything in there. It's their fault for making that annoying, you know? Okay. Do I think labbing is bad? I don't think that labbing is bad. I think that basically demanding that people lab is bad. Like, demanding that someone sit there and just practice in fucking training mode for hours on end to get muscle memory down is kind of silly when they could be playing the game to learn it. Also, I think that people who just sit there and lab and they think that's enough is bad, because I think a lot of people are of that mentality. Like, they watched a bunch of fucking content creators make videos explaining, here's how you play this character, here's how you beat this character. So they go to training mode, they just sit there and lab it out for hours, and then they just go online with actual no knowledge of fundamentals of fighting games. So they'll guess their way to some victories, but that's not learning a fighting game at all. That's becoming a flowchart player. And that's not fighting games. That's not what fighting games were meant to be, you know? It sucks because I feel like that's just what fighting games will become if we stay on this path. And that's what Street Fighter V was, and Street Fighter V was atrocious until the end. Like, do you just want every game to be a flowchart where every character fights exactly the same, has exactly the same optimal combo, no variation whatsoever, everyone's just a fucking cookie cutter copy of each other? That's where we're going with this thing. You know what I mean? Radical Jaw says, will Sunday Night Bites come back in October because there's a Big Reel fishing game coming out? I don't know. Maybe. I didn't know about that. Is Big Reel Fish good? Cyberbrain, I guess you're deaf. He says, are you going to endorse either presidential candidate? I literally just said on this very show, I don't think either candidate is good for America. You have to vote with what 4 years you felt were better for you in America. Was it the 4 Trump years or the 4 Biden years? That's how you vote. And it's not on me to tell you what was better. That's your own personal subjective opinion. So make your vote based on your subjective opinion on how things went when each was president, particularly. I don't endorse either candidate. They both suck. Night Shift says, I remember my cousin used to beat me in Street Fighter. I saw his rank in 6. He did make it to Master, but he only has 1,200 Master points. His tactics of mashing don't work. You can get to Master in this game eventually by losing. Like, you can lose more than win and hit Master. And there's a lot of people who've done that. They memorized this. Again, they labbed. They memorized the one combo or the one mix-up that you can do and guess and sometimes get lucky and win matches. So you can win 30% of the time and still hit Master. But you'll just lose all your points. Actually, I don't know. I haven't played that much with Bison in Master. I can look it up right now. Because someone asked, do you actually know what your cumulative score is with Bison right now? Actually, no, I don't. I haven't even looked at that. Let's see. I'm going to guess probably even. That's my guess. Let's see. So, I did 3 ranked sessions with Bison. The first was 43 wins and 17. Wait, no, that wasn't ranked, was it? Yeah, I guess it was. My first session, I had 72%. My second session was 60%. My third session was 44%. So I'm getting worse the higher I get. But overall, 173 wins, 84 losses, 67% win-loss ratio with Bison in rank. So I'm winning way more than I'm losing, but the winning has slowed down. When I hit 5-star diamond, I'm having problems. There's your answer. Yes, the 4th of July dinner tonight is Bison burgers. I said I'm having actual Bison burgers for dinner. And no, I don't mean M. Bison's brand burgers. I mean burgers made of bison meat. That's what we're having for dinner today. Bison is tasty. Bison has a unique flavor to it. It's just a little bit gamey, but not strong gamey flavor. And it's very low fat, but it's very protein heavy. It's very delicious meat. I have played other fighting games, Ludolpha. I played Tekken 8 for like almost 2 months. And I liked it, and I was getting good at it. But the fact of the matter was that I realized there was absolutely no way I was going to be able to continue to play Tekken 8 at a high level, but also play other games. Like, eventually I knew I was going to want to go back to Street Fighter 6. And I was like, dude, it takes so much investment of time and effort to be good at one of these games, and I don't even play them that often. Again, I'm playing it, 5 to 8 hours a week? How am I supposed to stay at a competitive level of any sort when I'm playing so little? So after having played Tekken 8 for those 2 months, I loved it. I actually really liked Yoshimitsu. I was good with Paul and King. Pretty decent. And, of course, Jun as well. But Yoshimitsu was my best character. And I got him really high up. What was it? Purple ranks or whatever those were. So I was like one level away from being considered like master level. But it got to the point where it's like I was going to have to keep playing so much more in order to gain any experience points that I didn't have time to do it. So I dropped Tekken. I went back to Street Fighter. I don't think I've ever had goat. I don't think so. Goat? I don't remember eating goat. No, I don't think so. What's harder to play? Both Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6 are quite difficult to play at any kind of a competitive level. They are very complex. They have a lot of systems in place because, you know, these is Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6. How many iterations of these games have they had? So you need to have previous knowledge of all the basics of the previous games, and then these games have new systems in place that you also need to learn. So neither one is easy. They are both very complex, difficult games to learn at a competitive level. Did I ever play Last Blade? Yes, I did. I don't know what other game you're talking about there, Night Shift, but I've played Last Blade. Maybe I did during an Indian feasting with Phil. Did I? Goat? I thought it was lamb. I've had lamb. I don't think I've had goat. Maybe I did eat goat. I don't even remember. Oh my god, there's another different emote. Look at that. So now there's two different emotes of me as Bison. What is going on? What are these different emotes? This is great. Two different Bison emotes. That's great, man. Well, you guys have new emotes for today's stream. By the way, today I'm going to go exclusively with Purple Passion Bison. So I know some of you like different colors of Bison. I'm going with Purple Passion. Why? Because that's my favorite Bison color. I used it in Super Turbo a lot. I have a purple theme set up for my stream today. We're going all purple for this stream, all right? Don't worry, I'll probably pick different colors in the future, but I want to go to purple for today in order to focus on progress, hopefully. Very good. Oh. All right. Anything else to talk about, guys? Any other contributions? Any other questions? Get them out of the way before we get ready for Street Fighter. What's the hardest fighting game I've ever played? Mine is Original Fatal Fury, says J-Stan. It depends on what you mean by hardest. You mean actual difficulty to play against a computer? You mean a difficulty to play against a human, like execution-wise? You know, like, for example, back in the day, King of Fighters series was one of the hardest to play in arcades because the bosses were infamously insano tough. Like, way hard. The AI was so ridiculous to reacting to your inputs and everything. And it also didn't have to abide by its own rules. It would cheat. Old school Street Fighter was the same. Guile would walk forward and then do a flash kick. You'd be like, that's a charge move. How did he walk forward and from a standing walk do a flash kick? It's not even possible, right? Against the computer, it's got to be King of Fighters. Like I said, back in the day, the King of Fighters bosses were so insanely broken. Like, you could barely hurt them, but they would do, like, triple damage to you. It was absolutely ridiculous. Oh, I have no idea what's going on in UK politics. I've just asked, who do you think will win the UK general election today? I don't know who's running. I don't know anything about UK politics whatsoever. Zero. Yes, American Super Turbo AI was extremely cheap, especially when set to the higher difficulty levels. Like I said, it would literally read your input and react to your input, which is not what humans do. When you're playing a human has to see something actually happen on the screen and then react to it. The computer would literally read your button input and based on the button input would then do a move to counter it. How do you beat that? It means that it's like mind reading, basically. Like, how is that fair? So what you had to do is you had to do patterns where the AI was stupid, like the reaction would be a dumb one. So you'd like do a certain move and the computer does the wrong move to counter it because they programmed it wrong. So then you can punish it. You would just do it 17 times in a row to win. That was the only way to really beat the computer at high level Super Turbo AI difficulty. Oh, my nose. I hope my allergies aren't bad today. They actually were not that bad yesterday. For the first time in like a week, I wasn't itching all day and everything. But also, I wasn't sitting in this room with the air conditioner blowing on me all day. So I'm a little nervous that today it might get bad again. I don't know. Have I ever smoked a cigarette? Yeah, I tried it. I hated it. Because again, I grew up in a household where my mother was a chain smoker. So I always had cigarette smoke around me. And when I tried it once when I was a teenager, of course, I thought it was terrible. So I never wanted to smoke ever again. Yes, I've smoked weed only a few times. Probably like, probably like enough to count on one hand. That's about it. I never really liked it. I never had a good time doing it. You know, most people smoke weed and they say they have a good time, they're relaxed or whatever. Me, it wasn't good. Like, I actually much prefer drinking than smoking. Will we ever see Super Turbo return to streams? There would have to be a means to play it. I can't play Fightcade because Fightcade is unsafe. Apparently, people can get your IP address. Outside of that, there's literally no modern way to play it. Every collection has failed that they tried to put Super Turbo in. I bought them all, and there's no player base for them, you know? Competitive history? No. I've never even seen a tournament for Fatal Fury or Art of Fighting. Nope. Those games didn't get tournaments. It was mostly just Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat in my areas when I was growing up. And so a little bit of Tekken. The SNK games, people played them, but they didn't get competitive love. Winston, I know about this. We talked about it. Xbox is alluding to the fact that they're going to make it so that over the summer, if you have a Amazon Fire Stick, you'll be able to play some Xbox games on there without a console. You'll be able to just stream them. I guess if you have Game Pass, you'll be able to stream the games over the Fire Stick, to which I respond, did Xbox ever actually use a Fire Stick? The Fire Stick is not great. It's good, but it lags up. It has a ton of issues where sometimes you have to restart it because it gets really slow. It's not a fast device by any means. It's nowhere near the power of a console. So I don't know how they think they're going to use the Fire Stick to play games when it lags even playing TV programs. Like, no lie, we have a Fire Stick. We open it up. We try to move around the menus. It's like locking up, freezing, lagging, not loading. Sometimes you tell resume, and it resumes a show you were watching last week instead of what you were watching last night. Like, it forgets. The Fire Stick is not great. So I don't know what they're thinking there. You know, they're acting like it's some great device. It's really not, but it's cheap. It's like $40. That's why it's not great, because it's $40. All right, any last minute stuff, guys, before we adjourn? Last chance if you want to talk or contribute, and then we will end the show and roll into Street Fighter for today. I've never had Wingstop before. I don't know if it's good or not. I played King of Fighters primarily, but I did play some Fatal Furies and Art of Fightings in arcade days. Yes, I did. There just was no competition for it. It was a casual play game. Yes, there is a 9 stream tonight. It is Riven Remastered. Did I update the schedule? Let's make sure the schedule for today is correct. Excuse me. Nice. I did have the schedule correct in the chat. That's good. Okay. Guys, I guess we'll end the show. Thank you for chilling. Those who did, happy Independence Day to everyone out there. If you're celebrating and you didn't make it by the live stream today, or if you just watch this show on demand regularly anyway, I appreciate you. And I hope you had a safe and fun holiday. If you don't celebrate it, well, then I hope you had a safe and fun normal Thursday. Tomorrow, I will be recapping my results from today on how stuff went. And we'll go from there. All right, my friends, please enjoy. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.